Hey, welcome back to Dynamic Alignment Bodywork and happy Friday again after a week off. In today's video, I'm going to do, and you can do with me, a short exercise, stretch joint mobility exercise that I just learned last week when I was in Maine from a Pilates instructor, and I love it. I love it for a lot of reasons, but chief among which is it's been so helpful for me and some of the stuff that I've got going on. So I'll get into the nitty-gritty of it. It's about rotation in the shoulder. And what I notice, guys like me, and I've come a long ways for sure, but I'll show it from the side view. When I start to reach up, and my shoulder mobility now is better than when I woke up. I've actually been doing a little bit of playing with this already today. But if I'm reaching, like pressing something overhead, or even just like reaching, or this morning I was in a dance class, so these kinds of movements. When I'm reaching up, it can start to get really tight in here, and a tendency for guys like me, and you may resonate with this, can be to start to dump force through the spine in an attempt to try and reach taller when I'm actually shortening myself, if you can see that. So there's a lack of mobility and largely just a feeling of like tightness through the shoulder. We can try to open up, and these kinds of exercises can be helpful. But what can happen is I've got my arm bone here, my humerus, my clavicle here, and then my shoulder blade on the back. If I'm not changing the relationship between, in particular, my humerus and my shoulder blade, my scapula, as in if I'm in a position here and I'm pulling the whole thing back, that's affecting certainly this area, but not actually in my shoulder proper, or I can get into it in different ways. So here's the exercise. Again, for me, having a hard time pressing overhead, so here's my before. We'll see if that changes. And it has to do with my ability to rotate. So I'm going to lie down. I have my arm bent here. And I'm just gently starting to push down. So if I was standing up, I'd be internally rotating my arm. And I get to a point of what feels like a stretch. If I push hard, it can feel pretty pinchy. Turn my computer back on. So I'm not really cranking down. And the Pilates instructor I was doing this with had to remind me, and I feel like I'm pretty good about that stuff, but she even had me like cutting my effort in half. So finding that point of resistance, and then I'm going to my chest, I'm going to fold over my shoulder, and I really feel this right here. And again, to re-emphasize, I'm not trying to smash, right? And nor am I going to fall asleep in this position. I'm in sort of a sweet spot in between, but where it's intense, for sure, but I'm sort of holding this position. I'm not pushing down any further. I'm dropping my chest. And here, it can stay like 20 seconds or so. I'll sort of speed it up as I come back out. And then I can drop that rotation down a little bit further. Feeling for where my arm wants to go, not where I want to make it go. So already you can see I'm getting a little bit more rotation. Me being down like this pins my scapula so that I can't take the whole unit forward and back. Right now I need to, because this part is fixed, I'm needing to work with just the humerus-scapular relationship. The glenohumeral joint is the shoulder proper, and that's two parts of the humerus and the scapula. I can fold back again from this new position. Really deep breaths held. I'm not smashing down, but I'm definitely holding and this feels intense, like not so much that I want to puke, but enough that it definitely has my attention and feels like kind of a deep, burning opening. And I'm having an ear out for where this wants to go. And come out of it. You can do a couple rounds of that. But hugely helpful for me, and even just that little activation and wake up. I can feel it when I sit up, and then I start to reach, and I don't know how obvious it is in the camera, but my shoulders feel pretty different right now. This feels a lot more open, so I'll do the other side. Here's that side view that we had from the beginning. I don't know what you notice, but I see a little bit more extension here, and I hugely feel it before I'm going to do any kind of shoulder opening activities like, I don't know, swimming, or if I'm climbing. It's a big one for me. Anyways, it can be a really helpful mobility exercise that I know I'm going to be doing probably a couple times a day over the next couple weeks, and see where it takes me. Anyway, hope this helps, and I have lots of writing that I'm doing about this fascial fitness class that I just took in Maine, so tune into my website, subscribe to that blog if you don't want to miss any of the writings, and subscribe to this channel if you like these videos. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week.